Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to a new video. In this video, we're going to be looking at some gameplay, to be honest. So, recently been playing Ark Raiders. If you've not played it, I'll talk through some of the reasons why I think it's absolutely great. But, obviously, recently I've been feeling a little bit uninspired to do any sort of developing in Unreal, which is perfectly normal. You know, I've been doing it a while. I'm not going to feel bad about it. But typically what happens is that I lean towards playing more games, and you know, I try and draw inspiration from games. And to be honest, a lot of modern games are uninspiring to me. So I don't really want to play most modern games because it tends to just be recycled content. You know, maybe it's the same game but with some different faces, different skins, and a slightly different sort of player style, but other than that it's the same game. Where Ark Raiders, you know, again, isn't necessarily anything new. It's an extraction shooter, so you sort of jump in the game, collect some bits and pieces, do some tasks, and then try and get out. But I don't know if I've mentioned, this is made in Unreal, so one, I'm looking at it through my Unreal Engine goggles as hey, that's pretty cool, how did they make that, and how did they make this, and that sort of things. I tell you what I'll do is I'll just quickly jump in a game whilst I start talking. But it's just really, it's refreshing because I've played games like Escape from Tarkov, which is obviously an extraction shooter, but it feels a little bit, Tarkov to me feels a little bit more serious, like everyone's really deadly serious about playing the game. Whereas this feels as cinematic as it does an extraction shooter. Like, you'll know what I mean when we get in the game. The sound design, I'll be quiet sometimes, but the sound design for this game is on point as well. And the gameplay feels somewhat organic. You'll see what I mean about the AI. There's a little bit more background on the AI, which I'm aware of, but the game for me is just, apart from visually pleasing, like, the audio is just good for me.
This is Tian Wen. You can
Everything's
call in a
been
drop from a
thought
supply
of.
call station. Just keep your gun at the ready when one comes down.
So
They tend to be
as
like
I'm running
honey to
through the
fly.
level, the echo, that's why I'm wearing my headphones, because the spatial audio on this game is absolutely great. Sounds just feel right, especially when we get outside and you hear things going off in the distance. It's just something else. So yeah, obviously the aim of the game itself is an extraction shooter, so you know, you're going to be running around looking for loot, trying not to die, because if you die, that's pretty much clean slate. You know, you've got to start again. I should check where I am actually. So for anyone that doesn't really know, obviously you've got some quests that you pick up as you progress through the game. You spawn in random places, and there's only a few places, like these little down arrows, which you can leave the game. So there's only select points on the map that you can actually leave the map. So you've got to navigate through this sort of, let's say, this world full of danger. Pick up the best stuff that you can along the way, and then try and get out. And usually the extraction at the end is the hardest part, because as you're traversing the world, it's not too bad. You're being cautious, but obviously everybody wants to be at these escape positions. Everyone, you know, if there's only 5 places on the map you can get out, there's a good chance that you're going to bump into somebody in them places. But so this is not really a this is not really a good spot to emphasise its beauty, and there's a good chance that I'm going to die in this game, because I'm definitely not concentrating. But well, that's interesting. I've not seen a beam like that before. Anyway, as you can see, like the environment just looks beautiful for what it is. Don't get me wrong, it's nothing like absolutely mega, but it feels earthy enough to be real, but it's also futuristic enough. It's like, it's a believable level of futuristic, so it feels really refreshing, because it's like, it's a bit of the future, but it's not like everyone's in space and stuff like that. And what's funny is, like, the actual background of the game is sort of like artificial intelligence robots have sort of they've got sentiency, and they've kind of like turned against humanity, which have forced humans underground, and the humans actually resurface to come back up to try and salvage any sort of valuable remains left over. And this is the premise of it, really. So obviously you find bits and pieces in the world, you collect what's valuable, and you get out. Oh, wonderful, look at this. So here's a field supply crate, which these obviously take up the availability in your hands, and if you then drop them off at a field supply sort of drop-off point, you're rewarded with some loot. So I can't jump, I can be a bit quicker, but I can't really sprint. I'm now very vulnerable. But I tell you what, once I drop this off, because it'd be quite interesting to see what loot I get from this. Once I drop this off, I'll try and run into the world a little bit more. There was a little bit of sort of echo and stuff, which was really nice back there, but I was talking about something else. Discuss it. So they've now given me some extra pieces. So we've got different types of ammo, some grenades, and some bandages. To be honest, that was a terrible drop. We'll carry on. So I can tell because I'm wearing headphones. You might be able to tell if you're wearing headphones, but wherever I walk, there is a good level of sort of reverb. Each room, the sort of echoes and the sounds that bounce around each room feel right for each room, which is really nice. So you walk in a room and it's really echoey. This game runs on proximity chat as well, so providing you're not in a Discord call or something like that, your voice genuinely... I thought I could hear footsteps. Your voice genuinely sort of like bounces around the environment, which adds to the effect. Let's go find some robots. I mean, I've got to tread carefully a little bit because I don't want to die straight away, because I'm just going to be straight back in the menu. But there's so many things that this doesn't look like a really good spawn for sort of proving some of the sound design. So I tell you what, while it's pretty quiet, I will talk about some other bits and pieces. But obviously, like I said, this is all made in Unreal Engine, so you know, there are just things that, like, as I'm playing the game, I've played it a little bit now, so there are some things that are not quite as ooh for me, which I'm probably gonna miss. But like, you know, just simple little UI elements. You know, you could be thinking like, oh, how have they done that? Is that a widget in world space? That's pretty neat. With like an overlap event, so when you walk in near it, it's coming up with that sign. You know, there's just bits and pieces like that you're going to be aware of. Not aware of, but like, that's pretty cool. Ooh. So I can hear. So there's a particular. So if I turn my I don't know how to explain this, but the audio, the audio source is outside. When I turn my camera like this, it sounds like it's coming from over here for me. And then as I spin the camera around, it's now in this ear. And that, dynamically, as I'm running through the game, is just really neat. What is that?
A surveyor, up there.
I am not too sure if I'm going to remember. Okay, well, that wasn't too bad. I was expecting it to come over and hunt me down and murder me. So the electronic sounds in this are really cool as well. Everything about the sound is just really cool. For me personally, that sounded extremely loud. Now I've turned the game volume down a little bit just so that I knew my mic would go up the top. So for me that was really loud, so I genuinely feel like I've made a lot of noise in the world. And that everyone's going to know where I am. Obviously this game is PvP PvE. So if I'm... Everything just sounds so loud. That was obviously a flamer. Someone's leaving. So that whining sound was the sort of like the lift, really audible. Again, when you call that in, it sounds really loud. Okay, one quick thing about the AI actually. The AI I will call. So this is a really neat. What the developers have done is really neat. So some of you might not be aware, but others will be. So if you think of AI. If you think of AI in a traditional sense, not a traditional sense, but it's like a... at the moment, we've got like things like ChatGPT and Grok. They're a large language model, which kind of like tech import and... there's so many noises. They tech import and they make decisions based on that through the neural network and blah blah blah. I'm not going to try to describe how it works. They make decisions, and then they slowly learn from it. So, like as they gather information. Anyway, long story short, you can get AI to play games. So you can say, here's what I expect you to do. If you manage to achieve this, this will be a reward, and if you do this other thing, that's bad. Anyway, so long story short, what you can do is you can give a character of a game. That was not good. See? Every robot in the area has just been alerted that I'm here. Okay. So you can give AI control of a character and say, like, learn how to move. And over thousands and thousands of iterations of try again, no you failed, try again, the AI slowly learns, okay, when I press this button for this long, I move forward. Okay, that must be good, that's good. Right, I'm closer to my goal. And it slowly learns, it slowly builds, like, okay, I'm going to try pressing this arrow this time, and oh, I didn't do anything, so that was bad, don't do that. And it slowly learns how to move. Now, this is how the developers of this game actually created the movement for each of the ARC robots in the game. They effectively let AI control the robots, so they've almost got like a natural artificial, oh my god, I've run out of ammo, which is not very good. Oh, that is not really good. I can't do anything. Ah, that worked. So the AI feels really realistically clumsy, if that makes sense. Kind of like sometimes the AI like bump into stuff and like maybe not with these ones, but the ones that shoot. When you get into a position where you can't be hit by them. So let's say I came in here and hit it here. It would know that it can't hit me. So it might fly around the building to this door and come through the door. Like it's not like an AI that has been programmed with like, if you see player go towards player and just bump into stuff along the way, it genuinely plans its route.
Don't shoot!
And makes a decision.
Don't shoot! Don't shoot!
Okay. So the good thing is, obviously, some people don't shoot each other. That guy could have just killed me and had done with it, but I guess he's pretty chill. I'm glad of that as well because I can't really be bothered losing all this loot. It's actually incredibly difficult to play a game and talk as much as I am. So if you like what I've said so far, please consider giving me a like. Then I know I'm not just oh my god, that sound, that I've said something. I love that. I love that. It sounds so much better over headphones, by the way. Oh no. I'm trying to get you a good view of that leap over there. See that? I really want to show you that leap. I'm also going to learn like half of that. Okay, so that big black robot that was there a minute ago is gone. And as the name suggests, the leap pretty far across the map. It's pretty scary, to be honest. That's exactly what's I'm genuinely worried now that I'm going to get savaged. Boom. So, you can craft stuff on the fly, which is pretty neat. I'm going to have to craft these. That was a shield recharger. Recharge my shield. I still don't have any ammo, which is depressing. I've got every ammo type.
Look there.
Okay, this is not. Luckily, that took it down. That's all of my sort of offensive weapons gone. I really need that. I'll take that. That's all. Yeah, I could do with extracting now. I'm close to at a loss here. I may as well put my gun away because that's useless now. There's a bit of bullet onto it. Hopefully, when I run up here, this leaper's not going to be on the roof. The best way I could just. Oh my god, it's just. Okay, so the best way I can explain a leaper is like, if you've ever seen like a really giddy dog, where it's like really excited and like, I found it. That is how I would describe the leaper.
Hello?
Don't shoot!
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm really nervous about that leaper because, I mean, although they're not that, like, I don't don't think they shoot or anything like that. I don't know if you can kill it, but when like they're like that giddy animal that really wants to like, I want to be your friend, I want to be your friend, but it's kind of like I want to be your friend to kill you kind of thing. Look, I feel like I've been rabbiting on now for some time, but the long story short is this is a game which has grabbed my attention, and I tell you what. One thing in game development over the years, which is it's a bit like before game development, I was actually into like doing sort of like Adobe After Effects, creating special effects, doing sort of like different things with cameras, like cutting and stuff like that, and rotoscoping and stuff. That really ruined movies for me because it was like every time I watched a film, it was like, yeah, that guy was on wires. They've done they've done this, that, and the other, and it really ruined a lot of movies for me because it took a lot of the that's really cool. How have they done that out of it? Because it's just like, yeah, that's probably CGI. That background probably doesn't exist. That this and that. Game design, game development was kind of the same. It's like a lot of the things that was like, whoa, as a kid or when I was younger or before it. Now it's kind of like I can't play a game without mentally dismantling features. I'm like, oh, that's probably made up of this. I mean, in some respects, it's good because what it does do is it gives you kind of like a. It doesn't give you an edge in games, but it gives you a kind of. Sometimes you can play a game for the first time and already know what kind of scenario to expect because you know, yeah, this has probably been made this way, or this probably functions like this, or I guess if you're that way inclined, it'd probably help you find bugs in games if you wanted to exploit certain features. But anyway, this game's really grabbed my attention because I like playing games that are made in Unreal for one, and I think when this game came out, when this game was in sort of, what was it? They did sort of like alpha test, and then they did an alpha test 2 with more people, and then that's where I became aware of it, and I was like, yeah, this looks pretty cool, to be honest, and I really like the sound design straight out of the game, and then I think a lot of content creators got access to the game, and that's when a lot of like the sort of play demos were sort of spreading, and there was some really good content being made by them, and it really sold it, and it was just like, I know on day one when it comes out I'm gonna have to buy it, and I do not regret it. The other thing is as well, it's some background in the game. If you're interested, some extra background. So I think it's 5 people left EA who ran sort of like, I think it was in DICE and Frostbite. So some of the big names behind sort of the Battlefield franchise. So some big names from EA really got sick and tired of how EA was kind of pushing, you need to make money rather than good content, and they were these are some of the lead designers and stuff like that, and the CEO. It's just like that's not really why we like making games. We want to make games people are going to enjoy, and for reasons they're going to enjoy them, not how can we make the most money. So they left. They made it in Bark Studios, and apart from the finals, this is their second game, and you can really feel it. You can really feel that there's been some great minds behind this game, because I don't really want to jump into another game because it's going to be another 20 minutes at least, but like the way the character moves, you know, there's like a subtle sort of like, your character almost like starts with a skip and then gets into a full run, The way certain things move and feel, how you slide, feels very responsive, but not like. There are just some subtle nuances in the animations which make them feel original, rather than when I press that button you're just instantly crouched. It's kind of like a, oh, I'm going down, or okay, let's go, let's run. There's kind of like a warm up to the actual animation, which is really nice. There are times where, again, I'm going to go over sound again, even though I keep mentioning sound, but it's just beautiful in this game. Having the right sound effect, the right level of volume at the right time. There are times where the map can be really noisy. There'll be gunfire in the background, there'll be robots crashing and banging, there'll be missiles flying through the sky. Well, they're not missiles, but hey, I'm not going to spoil some stuff. Anyway, and there's just lots of noise, and then in the next moment the entire area around you can just be silent, and you'll just hear like a breeze, or like some birds cooing in the trees, or something like that. It just feels really eerie, like, hang on a minute, I am alone in this area. But you don't know if the thing that's about to kill you is around the next corner, so it's like, it's really eerie. And I don't think that was the best playthrough to sort of showcase it, but I don't want the video to be extremely massive. But if you can afford it, I would certainly say it's worth a play. If you like the idea of Tarkov, but you also like, but sorry. For me personally, I liked Tarkov, but I didn't like the pressure of having to almost need to play it professionally, if that makes sense. If you've, like, it made me not fully enjoy it. Like, I don't really know how to explain it, but that, you know, if you've played it before, that might make sense to you. It's kind of like a, you know, it almost takes the fun out of playing it, because you've got to play it with some intensity that it becomes stressful. Whereas this can be like that. This can be like that. When you've found something that you really want to keep, and you're like, oh, I know I'm gonna die with it in a minute, and it does become stressful. But other than that, it's really good. And look, and like, just go through it with the mindset of like, how would I make that feature? And that's. There's quite a few bits and pieces in this game which have made me go, you know what, I might try and make that in Unreal actually. And I like that. I like that because it's like, in here there's nothing revolutionary, but the way they've designed certain elements just, I don't know, it just re-sparks the, oh yeah, it doesn't need to be like this massive crazy new system. It can just be, I like the way that colour goes around the edge. I wonder how they've done that. That does make it look cooler. Yeah. And there are just bits and pieces like, oh yeah, how have they got that to work like that? Yeah, I like this menu up here. I wonder how they've made that. And, you know, just things like that. Anyway, I'm starting to waffle now. I'm running out of things to say. So. It was good to see you all. Yeah, I guess if you want me to do bit more stuff like this, I'm totally open to it. It's not really what I intended for the channel, but I guess if there's some I guess if there's requests, or if you want to see more content where I'm playing games, or if you want me to play playthroughs or anything like that, I guess I could do. If you want me to just completely ruin gameplay by talking through it, I can do that too. Yeah, pretty much. Just if you just let me know in the comments, I guess, or give us a like and a subscribe if you wanna sort of stick around for if that happens, and we'll be in touch. Also, feel free to message me over on Discord if you need any help in Unreal, or if you want any help in about any of my previous videos, or if you want to discuss a topic about Arc Raiders or anything like that. Absolutely fine. Discord server down below. There's hundreds of us. There's a few channels. Just obviously, if it's about Unreal, use the Unreal category, and if it's about this game or just general discussion, please use the right categories, because sometimes it gets a little bit mixed up. But I like to keep all the Unreal stuff in one place and all the other chit chat where it's meant to be. So yeah, that's that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you at some point in the future. Bye.